This Earth of yours will be reduced to a burned-out cinder.
Real wrath of God type stuff.
Biblical. No, not yet.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
I came here to give you these facts.
Dogs in camp, living together. Mass hysteria.
We're going to live on. Today, we celebrate.
Flabbergasted by the Audacity.
I'm ready.
Oh, you're ready. That's good because we're recording.
Okay, good. Perfect. So, winter's officially here. It's cold as fuck.
Nah. Winter ain't here till the snow touches the ground.
I guess, yeah, but I was in Punta Cana for a week, and anything under 10 degrees, it's cold for me, because I was
let's just say the audience doesn't know where or what Punta Cana is.
To be honest, I had to find it on the map myself, so you're not the only one. It's it borders the country of Haiti in South.
Oh God,
I guess
you were near Haitians. I'm so sorry.
I know. It's basically on the other side. It's funny because you would think it's like because what happened in Haiti was that they got like rocked by like a couple of storms and like a hurricane ran through, something like that. So it's just funny how they legit border the Dominican Republic, but for some reason Dominican Republic like never gets hit by like major hurricanes. It's more like Cuba and Haiti that get hit by like major hurricanes. But anyways, I always forget that Jamaica is also in that area. I always, for some reason, I think it's just that, a lot of black people. I just always assume it's near Africa, but it's actually remotely nowhere close to Africa. I just always seem to forget that. But it was a nice vacation. It's a nice vacation. It's basically, I think the closest biggest landmass would be like Venezuela in like South America and like Brazil and all that stuff down there. I always forget how big of a country Brazil is. Like Brazil's a massive fucking country.
Yeah, its size is deceiving on the map.
It is. No, there's a lot of land. Like if you look at like South America, like as a whole, I think Argentina's probably I'll have to like check. I think Brazil has the biggest world map. In terms of like kilometers of like the territory, I think it's the biggest out of South America. Yeah. It's massive.
I have to say though, the timing of this vacation could not be better. It's not like we've been building up
I know, right?
In particular, for the past 3 months, nothing at all.
To be honest, when I took the vacation, I didn't realize until like maybe like a week before. I was like, oh God. However, the good news was that I was able to watch it in Punta Cana because they do have American channels over there, so I was able to definitely watch it. And I think we're just gonna have to skip the word that wasn't because we have so much to talk about this election. We'll just do the intro real quick. It's the Flabbergasted by Audacity. I'm Jamal.
And I'm Patrick.
And we don't have to hear about the elections for another 2 years. Yay! But let's get into it. First of all, if you're living underneath a rock, Donald J. Trump won. I feel like everyone should know that by now, but some people don't. I watched it. Were you watching it live? Were you just kind of checking on your phone every once in a while? Like, how were you watching it?
I was at work, and I was checking on my phone every once in a while. There was various live streams going on of people watching it, and so I was like watching through them.
Okay.
And every time I clicked on one of them, I was like, it's kind of boring.
It only really gets fun. I think it's after 8 o'clock when I think it's like 150 like electoral votes are like up for grabs. That's when it gets interesting. Cause like the first like 5, it's like okay, whatever. But to be honest, and it's one of those things where I had a suspicion leading up to the election that I think that she was going to come up short in this election. Not unfortunately. But I expected a closer race than what it was. Like, he swept her. Like, every swing state went in his favor, and it wasn't by, like, the couple hundred votes that, like, Joe Biden beat him by. It was, like, by, like, the thousands. Like, it was quite disgusting how easy he swept her. What I found interesting, and I was just like, I found it, I'm not sure if you were looking at who voted for what. It's so crazy how does American politics work in general? They are. There's a lot more. There's like a lot of little points here and there. Like this Philadelphia, because they were so focused on Philadelphia. Um, Pittsburgh and sorry, Pennsylvania's the state. Sorry, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh were so heavy on voting for Kamala, but all the little towns in the middle of it were Trump, by like a landslide. So, I'm not sure if you noticed, but like in Canada, especially like in Quebec, for example, we are grouped up. So it's not Brossard and St. Hubert and Greenfield Park. It's Montérégie, which is just South Shore or the Greater Montreal, and they group up Chambly and Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu and all these stuff into one other vote. So we don't get separate like the way America does it. It's just kind of like, okay, the 5 of you guys are going to be grouped up together, and we'll tally up all of your votes, and then we'll deem a winner for this group of cities, basically. Which could be a disadvantage and an advantage because it depends on who's in your city. Especially with Quebec, with the whole language debate. I think last year's election, we were the only group of Brossard, St. Hubert, Greenfield Park that voted for Liberal, because Greenfield Park is all English. Of course they're going to vote for the Liberal, right? Now maybe put Greenfield Park in the other group, it might be different for that election. It's a little weird how they do it over here. I will admit.
Yeah.
But
that's something they noticed though, is that almost all of the states voted for him, but there's only like large cities that went towards Kamala.
Exactly. The larger urban cities seem to go towards her, while the smaller rural towns voted for Trump. And what was also crazy, I was reading up on this, and this is where I get discouraged a lot when it comes to like elections sometimes, is the ability to vote. You know, like they tallied up that 20 million Americans did not vote this year. That's a lot. That is a lot of candidates. Now, whether that be voters for Kamala or voters for Trump, it's still 20 million voices that do not want to be heard, but then complain about what's going on. And I just find that so interesting. It's like, oh, my vote doesn't matter. Okay, but like, you're not even trying. You're not even trying to make a difference.
Well, for them, they don't think it matters, like, at all. Like, even, it's a very naive thought, because even I felt that way. When I became like 18, I was like, what the fuck am I even voting? I don't even know anything. Does it matter? I don't think so. So I just didn't. And now I see its importance, and because it's a big deal. Because if you
and I'm glad. I really wish our generation underneath us that are also becoming eligible adults feel the same way. Because a lot of our generation doesn't want to vote, or don't see the need, or don't feel the need to vote, because they feel that no matter who they vote for, it will not make a difference. And okay, change takes a long time, and I think this is going to be the first year in a long time, at least in America's sense, that they're going to be what the president is going to want to do is going to go through, because he has control of all three: Senate, House, and presidency, right? When he was running last time, Democrats still controlled the Senate. So every time he wanted to do something, it got shot down, because Democrats didn't want him to do anything, right? So that part is very interesting. Now, we're going to be talking about Trump for the next 2 years guaranteed, because of all the moves that he's going to be making. I'm not sure if you've watched. I've educated myself a little bit more this time on what he wants to do and how he's going to go through with it. These are my predictions. They could be right, they could be wrong, but I'm going to state them now. Let's see what happens as time goes on, and we'll just go with each of the main categories. So we'll start with the biggest one, which is immigration. I think it's going to be good for a minute. I think for a minute it's going to look really nice, and then after that, the holes that those immigrants were filling up that are not being taken over or being replaced by American workers might start to show. And then we'll see how Trump responds to that. Will he be importing immigrants from Europe and maybe other countries that are a bit more trustworthy, I guess you can say, in terms of not being not bringing in drugs or anything like that. We'll see how that works. For me, I think the economy is going to boom in America. I think the Canadian dollar is going to struggle even more so than what it is right now. Some people predict that their dollar will be double our dollar, which will be crazy if that is the case.
Yeah, did you hear that there's actually reports of the stock market increasing the day
Yeah.
after he got
Yeah,
elected?
100%.
I was like, how's
100%.
that? Did he even do anything yet? Do people just
No,
know what's going on?
Yeah, but I think that they know because, like I said, Trump and you said this that Trump puts America first. He has an America first mentality,
Yeah.
and a lot of those markets, excluding the TSX, because that one's Toronto, are American. You know, there's a lot of American stocks that are going up because they know that they're going to be making money with him for sure. They're not making as much money as they did with Joe, and if it would have been Kamala for sure because they are exporting a lot of stuff. Sorry, importing a lot of stuff, right? So I think it's going to boom, 100%. The two areas that I feel is going to be interesting on how he's going to deal with it, and the first one is the Russia-Ukraine war. I have this funny feeling, and this could go back into history when Ukraine was claiming independence from Russia to begin with. That Trump's going to go over there and go, listen, the part of the land that you claim is Ukraine is no longer Ukraine. Let's just end it there. Give Russia that part of the land. You keep your side. We're going to give you your capital, Kyiv, but there will be a change on all maps around the world of the border of Ukraine. That is my prediction of how he's going to end this war under 24 hours. It's the only way I can think of. It's the only way I can really think of this, that he's going to tell him, listen, whatever land he pushed into, give it to him. I'll make sure that he stops there, and the war's done. Like that. I think that's what he's going to do. Does Ukraine really have a choice? No, they don't. I think they just have to accept that. They have to take that small L and call it a day, to be honest. So, we'll see how that works out. But how did you feel about the election? How did you feel about the results? What are your thoughts about it?
It was what do you call that? Can't think of the word, but it pretty much it helped reinstall faith in humanity for sanity's sake. After seeing how horribly Kamala was running, I was like, if she wins after such a horrible campaign, people are really that blinded by race and gender. And don't care about what's actually between her ears and what she plans to do. Like that's, it's like say what you will about Trump. After watching him on Joe Rogan for 3 hours straight, I was like, I think I like him less.
Yeah.
But then when you look at the people he surrounds himself with, like JD Vance, I watched him in 2 separate interviews. Man's awesome. I'd rather have him as a president, honestly.
To be honest, me too. If I had to pick between Trump and JD, I would actually pick JD 100 times over for sure.
Yeah,
I actually like how he talks too. I think he has a good head on his shoulder. He's not fucking crazy, but he's also
very real.
He's very real. Yeah,
he's making jokes with Theo Von, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. No. He's like, and like I said, I think that for me, if I was an American who was undecided, I think not even the presidential debate would have maybe make a sound decision, but the vice president debate would have made me pick Republicans just because of how Vance outperformed Walton in every which way. Yeah,
killed it.
So that for me personally, I think he did he did better. Now for me, and this is one part that I always hate about the elections, is the losing party, right? And what I hated about how Kamala...
Yeah. Are you gonna talk about how she just didn't go out and talk to her supporters? That
part's fucked up.
That's insane.
I really think that it's a show. It's bad sportsmanship. It's bad press. It's lack of respect. You know. It's like, okay, you tried. You lost. Like a party was going to lose. Like fucking. When we had our election over here, my favorite party that I love to fucking mock was the PPC party. That the guy couldn't even get his own seat. He lost to the Conservatives in his own riding of his hometown. He even had to speak. He didn't fucking win a single seat. and he still went out to go talk to his supporters at the end of the day. That at least is honorable. I can go, you know what? You tried, you lost, you spoke. That's it. So you don't have to speak for too long. Just come out real quick. Hey, listen, guys, we tried. You know, we're still gonna fight. We're still gonna, you know, try and make sure that our voices are heard. Okay, cool, but just don't do anything. Like, I don't know. I really, I lost a little bit of respect for her for that.
It's just it's even more fucked up because it's like she makes everyone wait, and then finally it's like, okay, she's not coming, and everyone is like visibly upset and annoyed, like what the fuck, and then they have to come back the next day to actually get the speech. Like at that point, no, just stay home.
Just don't do it. Yeah, just don't do the speech. And like the other thing, like I was saying too, like just the fact that I saw so many. Well, and okay, I'll correct that. I didn't see that actually because I can't be bothered, but I was hearing all the celebrities like Cardi B and all these other celebrities who are crying on Instagram, upset at the fact that America voted for Trump because of the whole
that was my
abortion
my next point.
Rogue. And like for me, it's like, listen, like your party lost. Like I'm not over here every day on TikTok going fuck let go. Yeah, I don't fucking like the guy.
It's crazy. It's all being blown way out of proportion because a lot of the a lot of where they're coming from is like, oh, women's rights have been taken away and all that. It's like, what? No. Not at all.
It was funny. I actually watched the video just on that topic. It's a YouTuber. You like him, Long Beach Griffey.
He does good skits.
He makes very good. And he made one today, and he was saying how women say, "Oh, they're taking away our rights." I'm sorry. There are countries in the world where women can't even drive. Women can't even leave the house. Women aren't allowed to have jobs or have an education. You are allowed to do all that stuff and more. There is of course that fine line of between rape and women using abortion as a way of birth control, that the line gets very muddy. It gets very gray. You know, and it sucks because
the media tried to spin it like, oh, he's banning it across the country. Like, no,
he's not. He's letting each state decide,
which I think is a good balance because that way,
because then it gives the state a bit more power.
Certain states are very religious, so they're highly against it. So when you say like, oh, abortion is legal, that's very bad for them. It goes against their values and all that. So now, oh, if you disagree with that, you can just go to the next state over, take a little vacation, get a little Abbey done, you know.
Yeah. You can do that, you know, and it's like, I think for me, as much as it sucks, like I said, it's one of those things where, and I think that's like that everywhere in the world for many services like that, to where, unfortunately, it just takes one bad egg to start rotting the whole basket, in the sense of like, you just need one person to claim, oh, I was raped, but actually she just wanted to have sex with her boyfriend and let her come inside her, and now she's fucking pregnant and doesn't have money to get a plan B, or doesn't get the plan B, or forgets the plan B, and then goes to get an abortion. It's like, then the girl who actually did get raped and did not want to have sex or have the baby now is being punished because of your idiocy, you know? And that's where I go, it sucks, it's not fun, but I'm going, you know, it's like, I get where they're coming from, and I get what you're saying with the whole state thing. So it's like, people are gonna blow this out of proportion. I think the first day, as Trump said, he's gonna just fucking just run through shit and just get rid of people quickly and kind of put his own people in power.
Well, the one thing I'm really looking forward to, though, is because throughout his campaign, he kept mentioning how there's too much like excess in the government.
He did say that.
All their money goes towards paying all these people who don't do very much, who aren't really needed, all these departments that are unnecessary. So I'm really curious, because he's talking about forming some sort of team that
he already he nominated Elon and someone else.
He kept talking about Elon and what he did with Twitter. It's like Twitter was overblown with employees that were unnecessary, and got rid of what was like 80% of the staff or something, and it still runs good.
Yeah,
proving that it's just not. It's just there was fat that needed to be trimmed, and we're fine.
I think the only thing, and that's the only thing that I worry about, is the talks of him getting rid of that law of the two-term law. I forgot right that was, act, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But there has been talks about him wanting to get rid of that law so he can be president forever. That I disagree with.
That sounds like that, Jamal. That sounds like fake news.
Well,
I honestly doubt he would want to do it again. He's getting old, man.
Listen. This is what I heard. I could be wrong, and you could be right that it is just fake news. I'm hoping that is the case because I think that is a fabric of democracy, and I think that removing that would not be good for sure. So I hope that I'm wrong. I don't think it's gonna be as bad as people are saying. I think it's going to I think people don't like the abrupt change that he's going to bring into the office. I think that's what's getting people very upset. But, you know, at the same time, listen, this is what America wanted. A lot of Americans wanted this.
Well, like
You're gonna get it.
I have a feeling that a lot of, like you said, a lot of people are going to be upset because it's like if you're at your job, right? And then one day you hear, oh, we're downsizing, and now you're on the edge of your seat, like, oh my god, my job security is just out the window then. So obviously everyone's going to be against, well, not everyone, but a lot of people who know they aren't really needed are going to be against you. Yeah. Like, oh man, he's an asshole. He's fucking ruining everything. It's like, well, he's ruining it for you.
Exactly.
But for the people who voted for him.
It's one of those things. It's going to be interesting about the whole like deportation. Where are these deportation immigrants going to go?
I would assume they're going back to Mexico.
Yeah, but some of them might try and leave now and get into Canada. And that brings me, before we close, do you have anything else to say about the American election? Before I go into my next topic?
Jimmy Kimmel cried.
Yeah, that was weird.
He's
just very emotional. I don't really get it.
That was disgusting.
That was just strange.
To hear him say such horrible things about the people who voted for him, which is most of the country.
Yeah,
and then be like, women, I'm so sorry on behalf of all men.
To be honest though, if you really do think about it, I don't think a lot of rural Republican Americans are watching him to begin with. So,
well, to be honest, no, all those late night shows, they're in the toilet in terms of ratings. They used to get like millions of views, and now it's like, I don't know, a couple thousand.
I think ever since like the day and age of YouTube and streaming, it's been like that. It's been like that for a minute now. That these shows are.
I think the switch really was like around 2010.
Yeah.
When they really stopped being entertaining and informative. Yeah. And they just started blatantly lying and pushing agendas and just not even being funny.
No, I wouldn't say 2010. I mean, I'm not a biggest fan of like late night shows. I didn't watch like a whole lot. I think the only one that I watched on a good basis was Jay Leno when he was around. Yeah. But besides that, no, I didn't really watch too much late shows. I don't know if they are pushing agendas and telling lies.
I used to absolutely love staying up and watching Jon Stewart. That was fun. Like it told you world events, the news. And it made you laugh all at the same time, so you were informed, entertained, and they weren't lying about shit, as far as we know. Or if they were back then, they did a great job covering it up compared to today.
It's possible. I mean, I don't really watch it, to be honest, so I don't know anything about that. I just know that I think I gotta say that the way that, you know, just TV has been evolving now with all these subscription sites and stuff like that, that basic cable is dying at a rapid rate. Like just to give you another example of how I can see that it's dying, Crave recently bought from the NHL that any game that's on a Monday is on Crave only. So that means NBC, ABC, ESPN, TSN cannot stream the game. It's only going to be on Crave. That's a crazy deal.
That's pretty insane.
That's pretty insane that now streaming services are going to be doing sports games. At first it was like, oh, event here, Netflix this and Netflix that. Now it's like, now we have a whole fucking organization with us. And it's working. Like, it looks nice how they do it too. I like the style, how they show the penalty minutes and all that stuff. I was like, fuck, okay, this is actually kind of good. You know, so it's scary. It's scary how close cable is to being just thrown out the window. It's not going to be needed anymore. Everything's going to be bought by some service or another, and what happens is that cable companies are going to get desperate, and they're going to start selling off their shows to Netflix and Crave and whatever the fuck, Hulu.
A lot of them are already doing it, and it's like the only thing that makes the money.
Exactly, because they're not making money on their own. It is the end of TV.
Yeah.
I want to say in 10 years.
And since the election was over, a
Yeah.
lot of these what do you call those? The news studios on cable, their viewership
Yeah.
has dropped like 50%.
Oh yeah, because everyone was watching. Oh my God, Trump, Trump.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, okay, it's over. You know, it's like.
Well,
nothing.
the right wingers were claiming it was because people are they finally opened their eyes to all the lies. I'm like, I think it's mostly because the election's over.
Yeah,
I would hope it's also that, but I have
no, it's just the election's over. That's basically it. Like I said, there is to a point where I believe that the Democrats have gone too far in certain areas. Like the one thing I do agree with Trump is the whole schooling system to where it's too sexist, male female.
Sexist.
That is perfect. I think that's perfect because it's getting out of hand. It's really getting out of hand now. And I like the fact that he's being very aggressive about it, that if you do not follow that, he pulls your funding. I think that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Especially in America. Canada, it's not super duper bad. It's getting there, but not to the degree of the Americans. I've heard about it. I've seen it to where it's like there's like 20 fucking boxes you can check off. Male, female, trans, lesbian,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you have a penis or a vagina? Which one do you have? You can only have one. It's like,
there's
you know,
the
like,
meme going around of it's the classic 50s kitchen, mom washing dishes, and the kids ask, "Say, how many genders are there?" Oh, we're back to 2. We're back to 2,
it's
Timmy.
like, yeah, it's like we're back, and we should have never left. We should have been at 2 to begin with. Like, I'm sorry for anyone who feels that, you know, we're misgendering or whatever, but I'm going at.
Get
if
some
you
help.
want to be, if you want to, if you want to be identified, there are really only 2 picks to pick from. If you feel like you're a woman in a man's body, then transform into a woman, no problem. But don't go, I'm not a man or a woman, I'm a them, or I heard this one definition, I'm a Z-E. I'm like, okay, no. You've gone too far now. There's 2 choices here. You pick one and you stick with it. That's it. You don't get to just go in the middle and ride this weird fucking line that you created yourself out of crayon, and you get to do a little bit on the women's side and do a little on the men's. No, that's not how it works. You're a man or a woman. That's it. Point final.
Yeah.
You know, so that part
it's a serious
I do agree with.
epidemic in young people, and the fact that it's in schools everywhere, and you constantly hear about teachers pushing it on them. It's like, that's pretty messed up.
But not only teachers pushing on them, but it's also the parents fighting the school system and fighting the teachers. I've heard multiple stories now of parents wanting to sue the school because their kid was mislabeled. I'm like, are you serious? You had nothing else better to do with your fucking day than having your kid being called a she when it should be called a them?
Yeah, well, sadly, some parents see it as like bonus points. Like, oh, my child is special. They're retarded.
Yeah, they're special. Yeah, exactly. They're special, all right. But sometimes, and you know what though? And sometimes it's not even the kid. Sometimes it really is just the parent saying this, and this is who you are. Then, you know, when someone keeps telling you something, you start to believe it. Start to fucking believe it. You go, you know what? Yeah. Like I said, I don't mind if someone comes to me who looks like a man and goes, I want to be called she, her. Okay, cool. But just don't enforce it on me.
Yeah.
Don't give me a 20-minute lesson about why I should be calling you this. And if I by accident say it wrong because I'm looking at you and you have masculine features, and I say he, if I say, oh, I'm sorry. Like I had a perfect example. I had a little pool party, not outside, but playing the game pool, and one of their friends brought their friend who is a man transitioning into a woman, but he's in the early development.
I can help a gag. Oof.
But he's transforming into it, right? Which is fine. You want to do the whole transition? Cool. That takes time. It takes process, right? What happened was when I first met this person, I said he by accident. I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I know that you want to be called she." He goes, "It's okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it." I'm like, "Okay." Some people go, "Oh my god, you just called me a he." Like,
no, dude, no. You should have responded with, "Wow, you took that so well. I could have sworn you were a man."
No, but it's one of those things where I'm going, that's a nice way to handle it. You know, it's like the world's ever changing, people make mistakes, and then for you to just kind of fucking blow your top because I by accident misgendered you is not needed. You know, so I did enjoy that part. I think that is definitely a good move, and I hope that maybe Canada does follow that, hopefully, um,
That'd be
with it.
nice.
But so getting away from elections for a little bit, we'll come back to the Canadian elections because I had something to talk about there. I will actually get the elections over with, get the whole politics section out of the way since that's like the longest portion of today's episode.
Mm.
I had a nice watch, nice little YouTube video um, about Canada's immigration problem and how we are having this crisis of housing. And it was very interesting, very little informative 12-minute video. I didn't know about this, that in 2010, for every 6 people, for I think it was, sorry, like the 1990s, it was pretty good because it was like for every one retired person, there were 10 people working. That is down to 2 in 2024.
Mm.
For every two people working, there's a one retired person, which is not good. That means that we have an aging population. And what they were saying was during 2016, when Trudeau won the election the first time around, they were saying that if this continues the road that we're headed, we are going to not have enough people working in buildings to keep our schools and hospitals and clinics running. So that's why he got immigration going and boomed it, like millions of people came to Canada. He did it too quickly. He did it too quickly, too fast, and this is why we're having this issue. And what's happening is that it's a vicious lose-lose cycle of the fact that he needs people who are able to work in construction. Where's he going to get those people? Immigration. We have too much immigration. So it's like this weird cycle of we need immigration to build the buildings to get immigration, but then when we do that, the more immigrations come in, that we need more buildings, and it's a never-ending cycle, basically.
Yeah, because these people need stuff, and we need more people to make the stuff.
Exactly my point, right? So this is where it's interesting because I just wonder how Polyev is going to handle it, because he's going to win. I don't see him losing the next election next year. But of course, I do. Like I said, Trudeau is a fucking snivy little fucking snake, and he knows how to talk. I will give him that, to his credit. And I've never seen many politicians admit that they were wrong, but he did admit that he was wrong. There's an interview, I don't know which one it was, he goes, we didn't get the number quite right on how many immigrants we should have let into our country. And for that, I'm sorry. I'm like, that's crazy. Never heard a politician ever apologize for anything. They've always tried to spin the story in some sort of way. So the fact that he apologized, I was like, huh, that's actually kind of good, buddy. I'll give you credit on that one. Okay, impressive. I'll give you credit there. So it was just one of those things that I found so interesting. I was like, wow, that there is a world, there is a possibility, because he still has 26% of the voters, that he could pull a win. I don't know how he could do it. Polyev would have to fuck up major. There'd be some sort of fucking conspiracy that pops up about Polyev for him to lose this election. Because right now, the way I look at it, I would have to vote Polyev because there's no way Trudeau's going to stand up to Trump anyways. I'd rather have Polyev stand up to Trump because he's like a mini Trump anyway, so it's going to be good. It's going to be Trump versus... Yeah, no, there's some people dub him mini Trump just on how he is in politics, which is fine. Because I think that's what we need if we're going to be going up against someone like Trump, who's going to be strong-armed and put America first. That we need someone who's going to put Canada first. So, for that, just Trump winning kind of affected, which is so crazy that another country is going to affect how I'm going to vote. But the way that I'm looking at it, yeah, kind of have to. What I did find interesting too was, and leads me to that immigration point that we were talking about earlier, Legault, Yves Blanchet, which is both leaders of the Parti Québécois and the Bloc Québécois, have both told Trudeau, lock up the border. Lock it up, because they fear that a lot of these immigrants that are being deported are going to run to Canada. And that's scary. It's very scary, because we don't need more people. We're good. We're solid. We don't need any more. You know,
let's just close it for a while. Let people get acclimated.
Either close it or just make the process. Because I've heard that apparently we have one of the best immigration policies in the world. I don't know how. Trump even says it's great. So if Trump says it's great, they know it's pretty good. But I don't know, or just make it more make it difficult to get in or something, just to
We
kind of
need a
slow
wall.
the flow. We need a wall. Yeah. We'll just use the lakes, the Great Lakes, just spread it across. Fuck, all it a day.
Good luck
So
swimming that.
it's gonna be interesting. But yeah. So anyways, we'll have more politics as the next 2 years go on. Do not worry about it. But let's get away from that news. Let's talk about something that I read about and I forgot to talk about last time that we had the podcast. Are you familiar with Lana Rhoades and Riley Reid?
No, not even a little bit. No, who are these? These are women?
Sure, buddy.
No,
Sure, buddy. Sure, buddy.
what do they do?
Anyways.
What do they do?
Yeah, you know exactly what they do. For those who really do not know what they do, and you're good little Christian boys, these are two porn stars, Lana Rhoades and Riley Reid. So Lana Rhoades left the industry about, I want to say, 2 years ago, I heard, roughly, and Riley Reid did the same about a year ago. She recently had a kid with her husband, boyfriend, whoever the fuck, and claims that she wants to have all her videos taken down. Lana Rhoades saying the exact
They're
same thing.
everywhere. Like you could,
This is one point.
you could take down like the main video, but
Yeah.
there's clips everywhere.
Of it everywhere, you know, and what I was saying was, and this is where I find that so interesting, is that I'm going, you picked this career.
Yeah.
You didn't have to, but you picked this career. You just can't undo.
Exactly.
You just can't undo it. Like,
It's like
you've
you
done
can't make all your money and then turn around and say no, it's all bad.
Yeah, like,
It's like
that's
if
not
you
how
really
it works.
thought that, you wouldn't have done it for X amount of
Exactly,
years.
You know, it's like imagine if Trump is saying immigration is bad, He gets to the White House and goes, we're gonna bring in more Mexicans. It's like, what? It's like, you just said that you hated them and now you want to bring them in? I'm confused.
Bitch, I've seen you in multiple behind the scenes videos having the time of your life.
Yeah, you know.
I've never
So-
seen any of them, but I've heard.
Yeah, okay, sure, buddy. But it's I find that so interesting that she's the second porn star to be doing this, and like you said, first of all,
Third.
It's-
What's her name?
Third?
The brown girl.
Mia Khalifa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She
I
turned
didn't know
around
about her.
so hard, and she claimed abuse and underpayment and everything. Everyone's like,
That's crazy.
"You made so much money, bitch.
No,
you're
you're
set for
rich."
life. Now
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
just bored, so you're just attacking them."
Yeah. Like I said, I disagree. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this is the job that you picked. You knew what was going to happen, and kudos to the 3 men who date these women. I'm sorry. I could never.
Definitely
I
not.
could never be in that situation ever. Because there's no fucking way. What do you want me to do? Or does that feel good? Well, when this big black guy was 12, you know, it's like there's nothing that you
Literally
can do.
90%. Give it 9. I'll give benefit. 75% of people under the age of 30 have seen your wife naked.
Yeah, like, and taking massive cock. Like,
Yeah.
I can never. I can never. I don't know how he does it, but I can never. Anyways, I'm happy for her though. I'm happy for her having her kid and stuff like that. Like, that's fine. But don't turn back on what you've made. In fact, be proud of it.
Yeah, be classy about it, honestly.
Be classy about it. Like, you know, I think you could say, I'm stopping. I would like to no longer make any more videos. Fine. But don't tell the major industries, oh, take my videos down. And what? So I don't know about you, but if I knew a kid whose mom was a porn star, I'm not teasing him. I want to be his friend. I'll be honest. I want to go to his house and go, let me go to your mom's place. I want to see how. Like, I don't know. Me personally, I would not bully a kid whose mom's a porn star. I'm just saying. I'm not sure how you would feel. How would you?
I honestly
how would
don't
you
know.
approach that?
I think
You don't know?
it would go based on what I think of the kid. Like, if we're in high school, right, and that kid's
Mhm.
kind of a dick,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make fun of his mom. However, if the dude's
yeah.
like chill and we get along,
Yeah.
I'll be like,
Yeah.
she did good work.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really see an issue with it, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. But yeah. So I did hear about that. I was just it's something I found quite interesting.
Did you hear, Jamal? Everyone's going John Wick on the U.S. government.
What do you mean?
You didn't? Oh my! You don't know
No, I did
about
not hear
Peanut
about
the
this, no.
squirrel?
Peanut the squirrel.
You didn't hear about this?
You mean Peanut from Snoopy?
No.
No, I don't know. Peanut the
Cannot
squirrel.
believe you missed the story because you're on vacation.
Yeah,
Alright,
probably.
So basically, what happened, right?
Mhm.
Okay, I'll set up a story for you. Okay.
Okay.
So imagine one day, you're in your backyard, you find a little
Mhm.
baby squirrel on the ground.
Okay.
struggling to survive. You bring it into your home.
Mhm.
You nurse it back to health.
Mhm.
But now that you've done so, it doesn't have any means to survive on its own because all it knows is being hand-fed and coddled like a pet.
Yeah.
So naturally, you keep it. Because that's pretty freaking cool. A pet squirrel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you also start up a whole business rescuing animals and whatnot, taking care of them. Just generally being a good human being. This is all great, right? This is good karma.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're going to heaven, right?
Yeah, so far.
And then one day, the fucking government kicks down your door, says there's been reports of illegal animals on the premises, and we have to confiscate them. So they take your squirrel, Peanut, and your raccoon, I think his name is Fred, I think.
Okay.
And they take them away.
Yeah.
And then they kill them.
What the fuck?
And then naturally,
because it's illegal?
someone reported you. Well, this them, you know.
Okay.
They someone reported you, and out of spite, essentially, is what it seems. Because the person who did the reporting, they got found online and just got doxxed.
Okay.
And so it was like some middle-aged cat lady.
Of course.
Of course. And so she deleted all her social media, and everyone hates her collectively.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is messed up.
That's just weird. See, that's just one of those things where it's like you don't need to do that. Like, just mind your own fucking business.
Dude, yeah, this story got so big. I think Elon Musk was on Joe Rogan and they talked about it for like 10 minutes. And Elon was like, "This is why the government has too much control and all that. They can just burst into your house and steal your pets and kill them without repercussions."
That's a little fucked up. That's a little fucked up. And like I said, it's one of those things where it's like, he probably called them like 20,000 times to the point where they said, "Man, if you call us again, we're gonna take your pets. We're gonna take your pets." Because that's just stupid. That's just such like, and I hate that. I really hate when people like get into your business. Like I had posted a photo a little while back, and a person, I don't know them very well, but they sent me like they took time out of their day. I won't say who they are, but they took time out of their day to send me a private message going, "Hey, that photo that you took of that selfie, the angle's wrong." I'm like, are you fucking serious right now? You took time out of your day to tell me how to take a. Do you think I fucking care? Do you think I really fucking care about the right angle? I just wrote thanks for that and just did not talk about it after that. I was like, dude, like, what? You think you're doing a fucking service? What do you want my to be? Oh my god, thank you so much. Let me go delete that right now. Fuck no. Like, I want to fucking upload the photo I want to upload. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, that's the kind of shit that fucking irks me. I hate that shit. I hate when people get into other people's business that, unless it's life-threatening, then fine. If it's life-threatening, yeah, then I would appreciate it if you get into someone's business, because then they might take their own life, or they might be suicidal or whatever, or they might try and hurt someone. But when it's fucking owning a fucking squirrel, like, for fuck's sake, who cares, man? I wouldn't give less of a fuck.
She kept calling, saying, like, "Oh, there's some crazy wild animals in there, like a bear. There's a bear in there." They kicked down the door. That's a small bear, but we'll take him away.
Yeah, we'll take him anyway.
Put the cuffs on him.
Exactly right. It's like little small tiny cuffs that they bought like Dollarama or something. Yeah. I'm very sorry for that. That's really fucked up. That is really fucked up.
The natural meme was John Wick loading his gun and says, "When they come to take Peanut away."
Oh god. Moving on into music. I'm not sure if you heard about Quincy Jones.
Yeah, unfortunately
passed away.
I gotta tell you, the only reason I know Quincy Jones, Austin Powers.
Yeah, no,
he has a cameo. They're on the bus on their first date, and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Quincy Jones," and he plays for like 30 seconds, and that's it.
Yeah, but he was like I said, an amazing producer. Of course, made a lot of money off of with Michael, Frank Sinatra, Gwyneth Paltrow. So like just a lot of big. I think he helped her.
You named like some iconic figures, and then you just threw in Gwyneth Paltrow like she deserved to be up there.
No, she doesn't. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That she was in there. He helped Will Smith when doing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He casted a young Oprah Winfrey, I think in The Color Purple. No, that was another movie that he he casted her in. That was older, because Color Purple was pretty recent, and Oprah was already big at
I'm
that
so
time.
confused.
But
Wait, so you're saying Quincy Jones produced music and film?
yeah, he did. He produced The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
Really?
The Color Purple. He also did a couple of jingles for certain TV shows. I don't remember the exact TV shows though. That one you have to look up yourself. I cannot remember for the life of me. But yeah, there's just some big names that I remember, like I said, Oprah, Michael, Frank,
Based
all
on
those
my
guys.
Austin Powers knowledge, I only assumed he was a solo artist and that's it.
Nope. And he was also a musician himself. You know, he toured in a couple of bands as a trumpet player and a piano player. And how he got with Michael was because he produced the black version of the Wizard of Oz, which is called The Wiz. And that's when Michael was still struggling to find his identity as like a solo artist. And Quincy saw something that Michael didn't even see, and he was like, "I wanted to make an album with you," you know. And even with Frank Sinatra, at that time when he was really popular, Frank actually asked him to make a song, and even the company and his agent goes, Frank never asked anyone to help him make a song. So this is you're special if Frank is asking you, and he wrote him "Fly Me to the Moon."
Really?
So yeah, "Fly Me to the Moon" is written by Quincy Jones.
Love that song.
So yeah, great song. So that's one of many of his talents. So rest in many pieces to him. I'm very sad that he passed away. He lived a very long life, at least, but very sad. He was a very nice guy. Very human. Very human. He gave people a face value. He wasn't like those fucking producers who fucked over the people that they were working with. He was very fair. Very fair. And very genuine too. So rest in peace to him. That's a very big loss in the music industry. Going to someone who isn't as talented, Taylor Swift is coming to Canada. So,
Wait, like to do a show?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay, as long as she's not moving here, it's fine.
God, no, please, I'll ban her. But yes, she's doing 6 shows here in Toronto, Canada, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and it is crazy what the traffic that she does bring. That Toronto is actually the police have had to step in to control traffic in the whole fucking city. Not just at the Rogers Center where she's gonna be, or Scotiabank. I don't know what arena she's performing at. The one where the Maple Leafs play. That she's gonna be performing there around that area. But the whole city of Toronto, the amount of people, millions, Patrick, not just thousands, millions of people. There, I've heard that some people have come with no fucking ticket to see the show. They're gonna stand outside and listen. I'm like, you're fucking crazy. There's no fucking way I'm gonna stand in the fucking cold in November to listen to some garbage music. There's no fucking way.
I'm starting to think to become like a giant artist like that, you essentially have to start a cult. That's what it sounds like she's done.
Yeah, basically. Well, I've had the unfortunate pleasure of hearing her songs here and there, and one thing about her, and I think it's probably is the golden recipe, at least in my eyes, of how she's so popular. All of her songs are relatable. Every song's relatable.
You relate to them?
As a young teen girl, no, not me. I'm a male, but as a young teen girl, you relate to all of her songs. They're super simple. It's not like, example, a lot of older hip hop artists like Snoop Dogg, like Dr. Dre, like Biggie, when they would rap, the words that they would use sometimes were almost double or triple entendres of what they were saying. You know, like they might. It's to the point where you're listening to the lyrics. Like it's not the best example. There's a song with Eminem and Ed Sheeran and 50 Cent where Eminem says in the song, he goes, "You're only sleeping on me because you're fucking with me in your dreams." That's a crazy line. That's a really smart and a clever way of saying that you're saying that I fell off, but I'm in your fucking head while you're sleeping because you're talking about me. You know, that's it. Just that one line. How crazy that is. Taylor Swift's words are so fucking simple that every teen girl can relate to it. one of her most favorite songs, where she goes, "I was riding shotgun in the fucking front of his car," and she goes, "I'm just wondering why you and me don't have a song." The guy that she was singing at the time, pick one. And then they go about what the song should be about. And it's all these cute little things that every teenage girl wants their teenage boyfriend to do for them and have their own song. It's fucking genius if I'm being honest. It's a fucking genius strategy. I just wish people would not hype her up the way that they do. Because she's not that all that.
I just can't believe how massive she's gotten.
Yeah.
Especially like after COVID. Before that, she was like average size pop star.
Yeah,
now it's just
alright.
It's disgusting how big influence she has.
Yeah.
And the masses just follow her around the world like she's the fucking moon and they're the ocean.
Exactly. You know, it's crazy. So it's like, for me, it's like I said, I have always respected her as an artist.
I do not. I think you're wrong for doing that.
Well, at the end of the day, you know, you gotta respect hustle. You gotta respect hustle. The girl works. The girl works. You know, she works. I would give her more credit than some artists out there who fucking lip sync the whole fucking night. At least she's singing. I'll give her that.
Can we confirm that?
Yes, I can confirm that. Maybe she's not singing for the whole show, but like I said, I've seen some terrible concerts of very big singers where I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? Like, at least sing some words. Or if they are singing live and they're off key, that's even worse. The very famous song in 13, 12, called Cheerleader, from this guy from Africa named Omi, became very popular here in Canada and America. I saw him sing it twice. I don't think he knew what key he was in for the whole song. I'm like, dude, what are you singing right now? He was off key. His voice kept squeaking. He was like, oh. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, excuse me. This is your own song. How are you fucking up on your own song, buddy? Like, no, it was bad. Like, he can never sing that song live, ever. You know? So, at least he's singing live to a certain degree. Maybe he's not doing 100%. It's hard to tell sometimes with lip singers, but she works. She works. So, I will give her that for sure. It is crazy because this year, I think for the Grammys, every album of the year is all women. There are no men in that category.
They don't really make songs for men anymore.
Yeah, no, and we don't really have like any big male artists right now. I think the only two that could kind of break through at times would be either Bruno Mars or Harry Styles, but Bruno hasn't released an album in a minute. He's just been touring
so like
all the
I
time.
said, they don't make music for men.
Well, you like metal. There's a difference.
Well, no, the only thing I can think of is like maybe country, because they actually talk about dude stuff.
Yeah, well, country has their own thing, and country is dominated by men. Chris Stapleton, Blake Shelton, Luke Combs, all those guys, Zach Bryan. These are all major country stars. So they country we got still, you know, couple Natasha, Benny, whatever the fuck her name is, and Carrie Underwood's here and there, but yeah. Anyways, also in the news, Linkin Park released their new album with their new singer, and a lot of hardcore Linkin Park fans are loving it. They actually say it's an instant classic, saying it's probably one of the better albums they've released in a while.
What? That's a shit thing to say.
Yes, yeah, a little bit, but they like it. Well, I'm saying it in my own words. They just said that they think it's an instant classic. I'm assuming their last albums weren't that good then. If this is an instant classic,
their very last album was pretty meh.
Yeah, so this is a nice like little, I guess, boost for her. And of course, Chester's son came out to talk again. This time a little more calmer. He was worried about her voice, and he was saying that her voice might give out at a certain point if she's not careful, which to a certain degree he is correct. Famous artists like Lizzo, unfortunately, and Sam Smith have both had to have, and Adele have had to have surgery on their vocal cords.
Fucking cheaters.
Not even cheaters, just bad
bad technique, I guess.
Bad technique, exactly. Very bad technique of singing they say music with your head voice and not your chest voice, and that actually can affect your vocal cords if you're straining them for a long period of time.
I remember watching a short documentary. It was about death metal vocals, which are very strenuous on your vocal cords.
Yes.
So there was this woman who was like in her 50s who would go around training all of these singers.
Yeah.
And she would show them how to do it. And he was like, how the fuck does this 60-year-old woman know anything about this kind of singing? And he's like, it's all in the science. It's all in the science. I gotcha.
Yeah.
And one of her techniques was like, you have to sing into a straw with a bottle of water. It's like you're essentially doing vocalizations into a straw, and you want to get as few bubbles in the water as possible, and that apparently saves your voice or something.
Huh. Okay.
It was like one of my biggest takeaways from it. Like that was the technique. Okay. And anytime I try to sing along with death metal, I think I'm breathing too much. That's why I sound like crap.
That's funny. But yeah. So I'm happy for her. I'm happy for the band. I hope that this is.
Can you imagine though? If Drake comes out, I gotta get surgery on my vocal cords. Everyone's like, motherfucker, there's none of your songs take any vocal power. You're just whispering.
Yeah, him, he's so quiet. He's like, like it's such like a fucking low voice that I'm surprised that he fucking
and
would.
The doc doing the surgery does us all a favor, snips his vocal cords.
Exactly right. But oh no, I slipped. Oopsie. You know, it's like that would be great.
Now the world will know peace.
All of a sudden everything's good, you know, like we're all happy. The fucking inflation stops. It's like, oh, it's just Drake all along. Oh, okay, there you go.
It never went up again.
Exactly right. It's just fucking Drake's fault. But I'll leave you off with my vacation. It's very fun going to different countries and learning their culture, learning how they operate. It's also very funny that people really believe that you might be a certain race when you're not. And what I mean by that is that I was mistaken for Dominican every fucking 5 minutes while I was over there. People talking to me in Spanish going, "You're not Dominican?" No. One guy actually said, "Are you sure?" I'm like, you know what? No, you're right. I'm not sure.
You know what? Now that you ask a second time, I'm having doubts.
I'm having doubts. I should have fucked with them and go, "No, I'm actually Italian." That would have just fucking shit themselves right there, like right there. But that blew my mind that everyone kept thinking that I was Dominican. But I gotta say, vacationing and just going to a different part of the world and seeing how they operate, seeing how they live, really made me appreciate Canada a little bit more. The infrastructure is terrible over there, especially for people who live there. It's quite sad. They don't make a lot of money. The Dominican peso is garbage. The Canadian dollar is stronger than it. That's how you know it's really bad. To the point where everything in the hotel was run by American dollars because they wouldn't make any money if they were running it by Dominican pesos. Like, you would be broke in minutes. And a lot of rundown cars that they're driving. But of course, on the resort, everything looks great. But we even lost power, like for like a good 5-10 minutes, just like that, like a rolling blackout. So it really made me appreciate Canada a little bit more, just in terms of.
Yeah, it's always good to like go to third world countries and just see how the other half lives, which is
exactly
not well.
Yeah, no, you know, it's like it's nice to get that like reality check every once in a while, just to see like how they're living. And we never left the resort. Just driving in from the airport, I can tell it was so crazy, Patrick. There are portions of the road where it was run by like companies like Starbucks and stuff like that, to where the driveway was nice, the building was well kept. And then you keep going into companies that are made in Dominican or housing, and the roads are all cracked and the roof is all fucked up, and you're like, wow, like it's on the same street and you're doing terrible, and these guys are looking like they're $1 million, you know. So I found that very interesting. I was like, wow, like it's so crazy how the company takes care of their building and that's it. Like, okay, you're good, okay, cool, bye, you know. Like, but like everything else around it could be fucking falling apart, you know. So very interesting, very interesting. I'm very grateful to be living in this country. and having the stability that this country has. So, very, very grateful for that.
So today's words of wisdom are a classic. Be thankful
Yeah.
for what you have.
Yeah, be thankful for what you have. We come full circle. We got the words of wisdom at the
There we go.
at the end of the episode. So that without any further ado, that was a nice. Hopefully you guys were informed. Hopefully we can become the new late night talk show that you people listen to, because we keep it real, 100%. No
Stop.
fucking lies here.
Stop.
Raw, bitch. Just like Riley Reid.
Ah.
Raw.
Ah. Christ.
Raw under pussy. Anyway, this is Flabbergasted by Audacity. I'm Jamal.
And I'm Patrick.
And we'll see you guys next week. Raw on her pussy.
Stop.
Raw.
The decision rests with you. Rests with you.